Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, please continue to pray for me. I am seriously determined to leave Phoenix. Now, I had another incident that happened last night that it's not so much that the issues I'm having. It's the fact that here in the Phoenix area and perhaps in the United States, we have to go through this all alone. There's no camaraderie or teamwork. I'll get to that in a moment, but first, pray for a number of things. I'm recording this on May 20, and the temperature today will peak out at 100 some degrees, and my biggest fear is going through the summer alone. And by alone, I don't necessarily mean that I need to find the life partner or the romantic partner. No, I mean that when things go wrong, having to deal with that myself. And unfortunately, from the looks of what has been going on the last couple of days, so I'm not holding out a whole lot of hope on finding camaraderie here in Phoenix. I had an incident at work where my colleague could have told me something privately. It was nothing earth shattering, right? It's not like I put people's lives in danger. It's not like I even put, I teach at a community college. I didn't put my students in danger. I didn't put the department in danger of losing or accreditations. No, it was something simple. And I don't know why he decided he needed to email the whole team and our boss, and I think even the president of the school. I don't know. He CC'd a pretty big group, and I calmly replied back to the whole group to explain, what I've done, and I went above what he suggested there, but it was still. I don't think it really hurt me. It was more so that it was more like, gee, can we work together? And then yesterday, I went to a meetup group at a board game store, and I mistakenly did something that I shouldn't have done. But it was nothing. I hate to mention it on here. It was nothing earth shattering or dangerous or anything. And the manager of the store just screams at me at the top of his lungs. And when he could have sat down with me to introduce himself and talk to me, but whatever the situation is, that's the reason that do I like breaking the rules in both of these situations? Do I like to hurt other people? No, but I wish there was more of a teamwork to work together, not at each other, and it's making it very difficult for me to focus on my goals when I'm constantly having to fend off situations like that. Now, granted, there have been nice people. Usually, I tend to do better with other Asian people. Sunday, I had gone to another meetup group. It was held at a restaurant, a buffet restaurant. Now, I have food allergies, and so I went there 20 minutes before the party, make sure everything's in order. And everything's good, but I realized there was a little bit of a dilemma. What had happened is that I was hoping to shoot my shot at a girl at the event, but when I looked at the room that we had been assigned to, because it's a rather large party, I noticed that there were 4 or 5 tables, and I thought to myself, how am I going to think about this? Like, if I come back 5 minutes after the beginning of the party, the seats next to her might be already taken, right? But if I sit down now and wait for her to show up, she might sit somewhere else, and then I'll have to move my seat, and it will look odd, right? How do I make this flow well? And I thought about it for 2 minutes before I went back to the waiter, because you got to remember the waiter had been really nice to tell me about food ingredients and all that, so I thought I could trust him. I want to introduce myself, what I do for a living, what I do for fun, just introduce myself. And I told him I got a little bit of a thank you for showing me around with the food, but I got another thing I want you to help me think about. And he said, well, what is it? I'll give you a little background. This guy's Chinese, not Taiwanese. He's Chinese. He's a little bit younger than me. I want to say he was 25 years old. And so I explained to him that, I've been going to this meetup. This will be my third time at this meetup group. And last time I was thinking of making a move on this girl, but she was busy with a different conversation. And I'd really like to make it work this time. But I got a little bit of a dilemma. Look at all these seats over here. You know, I want to sit down next to her, but I don't want her to think that I planned it out, right? And he showed me that there was a podium. They sometimes host karaoke. And in fact, he wants me to, because I had introduced what I did for a living, he wants me to look at his karaoke software to figure something out. And why don't I help him with that? Because then I'll be able to see out the front of the podium where she's sitting, and it will look really good that, when she comes in, that I'm helping him out with this stuff. And that was really good. And even though the girl didn't show, it still gave me a nice warm fuzzy feeling that he was helping me out with this. And so it goes to show that I need to ask for help more. And so, why don't I share what happened yesterday at the board game meetup? I didn't realize they don't allow food in the store because at the front of the store it said no alcohol, right? Alcohol not allowed. If they wouldn't allow food in there, I think they would have said that too, right? And I was in a hurry. I had uh, other people I wanted to see earlier in the day. I was hoping to. I went to a library in Chandler because I was hoping to shoot a shot at a girl there. She wasn't there yesterday, but you know what? I had some good conversations there. I'm just so frantic about spending the summer alone. Now, is it the end of the world that you can't bring food inside the games or not at all? But the way the manager went about it gave me a bad feeling, bad vibes. He just comes over with the whole crowd. Sir, we can't have you bring food in here. I mean, and it's one of those things. Are we against each other? He could have sat down and talked to me. I was already having a bad day because I'm looking at the temperature and realizing that here's the thing. Do I need to find that life partner before the summer he went? No, but last summer it was really hot. I was sick, and it would have been so nice to have somebody bring some food or water or something to right back home to me instead of me going out and getting harassed out there and it's the insensitivity that bothers me the most. The fact that the store manager needed to remove me from the store last year or yesterday with the food situation, that didn't bother me. I would have put my food away had he used the right words too. But it's the insensitivity of a culture. It's like everybody treating each other like they're an alien from another planet that bothers me so much. And I just after I mean I did put my food away, but after that I couldn't focus on anything for the rest of the night, and I feel like my life is just passing me by because every day I get angered by something in our culture, and it's making it very difficult for me to focus my thrust on what I need to focus on, and especially the workplace situation. Uh, I, I I don't know why people need to come at each other at work. I'm gonna have to have a sit down with the rest of the team to bring this up. We're gonna have a meeting at some point anyway. That we're a team. We're not fighting each other. Unfortunately, the financial reality of things sometimes forces that hand. Right. That's the unfortunate part. Uh, myself and most of my colleagues don't have all of the financial answers, and so sometimes the priority becomes how do I make my colleagues look bad as opposed to how do we make the whole team look good, right? I don't know how we're going to fix that, right? That's a much more systemic issue than just the college itself, right? All right, please pray for my career pivot in Taipei. Now, in Taipei, the cost of living is considerably less. There's a lot more job security, and so a lot more thrust gets put into how do we move forward as opposed to backward against each other, right?